YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha, back in the building, here for another last Cloudia news and update video. Now, That Nerd DK did post a review of this 218 maintenance notice that was announced today, but I also wanted to go over it and give my initial thoughts over everything that is coming, because it is a pretty sizable update that we're getting. The DMC collab is obviously ending, so now it is time for them to introduce some new events for us to look forward to. We're going to get this maintenance starting at 11 p.m. PT tonight, which is going to be around 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is my time zone, and it looks like a 3-hour maintenance is scheduled. Quite a bit to go over. We're just going to get started. Part 2 of the Prologue to the Future Merity event is coming, so we'll get the second half of quests added. Some new rewards are probably going to be added to the trading space, some new mission rewards, things of that nature. So with the DMC collab out of the way, now we can focus fully on grinding this event and all of the rewards that it has to offer. And I guess they're going to add this rare item summoning device that has a low chance to drop, and they point out that you can exchange it for some sheet music, the new Prologue to the Future that they did show us in the initial announcement video. All I gotta say is I hope that there are some other things that I can exchange that rare summoning device for, because sheet music's cool, and I know there's people out there that appreciate it, but I gotta be honest. No comment. Alright, so that covers that. Next is the Tower of Trials is finally returning, baby. It's time. I know I've got the team. I know I've got the setup ready to take this down once and for all. And since I will be moving into a spot with new internet, this is my plan, guys. I'm going to announce it right here. I want to do a party at the Tower live stream event. I'll flesh out the details more and maybe put out an announcement for it. But your boy, Buddha, my birthday's coming up on the 24th. So to celebrate, I think it'd be dope. I don't know if I'm going to do it on YouTube or if I'm going to do it on Twitch. I think it'd be dope to have a cool birthday stream where we sit down and complete this Tower of Trials once and for all, get the LR Arc. I'll be able to get enough currency to exchange some things in the exchange shop for the Tower of Trials. So I think it'd just be a really fun event where I can hang out with you guys and we can just talk, hang out live. Some new things are coming with this go around of Tower of Trials. We can see the Phantom Great Axe, Ruin Hammer, Tekram, and Shrine Shield are all being added to the event shop to be exchanged. We're actually going to go look at those details because the main LC Discord has done it once again. The data miners have done their thing and gotten us some details on these weapons coming. So here we can see some of the details these new weapons have to offer. The Great Axe is going to give us a boost of 250 HP, 125 strength, and increase the special power by 50% in Phantom Tower battles. I'm guessing that the special power is the ultimate ability that the characters have. The Ruin Hammer we can see is 120 strength, 30 defense, int minus 20%, and add to strength in Phantom Tower battles. They like to do that a lot, this little stat sapping and adding it to strength with hammers I see very often in this game, so cool to have that. Phantom Tekram, 115 strength, 15 defense, 25 mind, and chance for physical attacks to do extra damage in Phantom Tower battles. I think that is a long-range weapon, so might look good on top of V if you're taking him into the Tower of Trials. We've also got the Phantom Shrine Shield at 150 HP, 50 to int, 50 to mind. I'm pretty sure that's going to be an accessory. I noticed the shield items in the game are considered an accessory, so some nice stat boosts from that, and chance to auto guard physical and magic attacks plus 15% in Phantom Tower battles. I might consider scooping that up because that's a really, really nice effect. I think the chance to guard against magical attacks, it was pointed out to me there is a downside to the guard build that I was showing off that I wanted to do with Nero, and that is whenever guard is activated, it pretty much interrupts your current action. So it it's going to help you if you're fighting a boss that will flinch you, or fighting an enemy that will flinch you when they hit you, because then your attacks are getting interrupted anyway. But with guard activated against enemies that don't typically flinch you, it may stop your character from doing whatever attack they're in the middle of, because this guard does activate. So it is a bit of a give and take with that current strategy. However, when it comes to magic attacks, I think it's infinitely more useful, because to my knowledge, the majority of magic attacks are going to stop you from what you're doing. They are going to flinch you. So to get that damage reduction, proccing is going to be useful, I'd say 90% of the time. So I'm going to still carry out with that strategy and maybe do some of my own testing. But I know, the girl Ivos, our LC mod in the Buddha Gang Discord, does love this strategy, and she is a long-time veteran of the game. So I do trust what advice she offers, and I'm looking forward to trying it myself, built out fully. Also, regarding the trials, if you're a brand new player that jumped in during this DMC collab event, don't be discouraged if you can't beat it. DK also pointed out this is an event that rolls around at the end of each month, and just like I said earlier, I have not beaten this yet, and I'm 3 months in. Some people might say, oh wow bro, what are you doing? It takes everyone their own amount of time, depending on how much grinding you can do, how much you can build your account out in specific periods of time. So don't be discouraged if you can't beat this in completion, your first go around on it, because it's designed to be some end game content after you have a nice amount of units and arcs built out completely, and have some of your strategies totally fleshed out, because there are a lot of tricks and kinks to the tower that you have to work around in order to progress through it. Next is this Blaze Boot Camp. I noticed that it is being re-released. I have not seen this, but I imagine it probably came out around the time that Del Morto was released, which does predate my introduction to the game. But it seems like a really cool event. You can get a lot of EXP by clearing the quest, so it seems to be another method of training your characters that you're working on. And there is this list of characters that get bonus XP, AP, and event points from it. So make sure to read this in case you have any or are working on any of these characters. It's going to help you advance them further. It introduces this interesting point chance of party unit souls dropping. So it reminds me, if I had to guess, of something along the lines of clearing hard or god stages in the story. There's that small chance to drop 1 or 2 souls of the units in your party. I'm assuming that's how it works. Some of the veterans can probably confirm this or explain how it worked in the past. Make sure to leave me some tips and advice in the comments, because I am curious. But that is a really powerful feature to this event. Any chance to get more unit souls for your units is extremely useful. That's why this DMC collab was extremely useful, because it allowed a lot of new characters to build up their V, Dante, and Nero very quickly, because of the various ways it offered unit souls to be acquired for them. There's also this little extra tidbit, Assault Del Morto. I guess rarely when you do this event, you'll encounter Del Morto, which guarantees a drop for his unit soul, which isn't going to help anyone without Del Morto. But in my case, I am excited for this, because I've been looking for a reason, for an excuse to build out my Del Morto. He's gotta be, he's tied with Ray as my favorite character in the game. My favorite animal's a wolf. He's a melee style character. He looks badass. So just one of my favorite designs in the game by far. I've been wanting to make him an integral part of my team. So my strategy with this is probably to throw him on the team that I used to clear this event, and then I'm going to get that double chance of his soul dropping in the event during every completion, as well as grabbing whatever souls drop whenever he appears as the enemy I'm facing. So I'm looking forward to this and excited to see what it actually brings by testing out the event in game. I thought it was cool here. It said that if Lilibet and Merity or other certain characters are in the game, it's going to prompt new dialogues that they've added. So some older players who have already done this event may appreciate that, just because it's a nice little addition that, Adis didn't have to do, but they gave us a little variety this time around with the reintroduction of this event, which is always cool. Adis, love those kinds of things. Next, you can see we're getting a gacha update now. This is what I'm going to base the title of this video off. Don't be fooled. Now, this is not a declaration of fact, okay? This is my opinion, and I saw a couple other people in the Buddha Gang Discord discussing this. This screams out trap banner to me. Now, don't get me wrong. Lagrobos and the Great War of Ruin arc are fantastic, and some could argue necessary additions to your account. The next banner with Dilmorto and Blaze Garden, not so much. They're just really cool to have, in my opinion. But this first one we're looking at, Lagrobos and the Great War, is a GWOR arc. Lagrobos is arguably one of the best, if not the best mage in the game. However, the rates are going to be unforgiving on these banners. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people are going to pull if you really, if Lagrobos is one of your favorite characters and or you don't mind spending money to summon for this. You might get really lucky and snag him if you really want him. But if I'm giving advice, if you're looking for my opinion on this, I think this is a trap because I believe some new and hype things are coming probably towards the end of February, beginning of March, as we approach the 2-year anniversary, guys. Don't forget, that's around the corner. I've said it a couple times. 2 months, sometime in April, we're going to see something that will, I'd say 99% outshine anything you're going to pull off of these two banners here. So that is just my warning. Recognize trap banners when they come around. Again, the potential of getting Lagrobos and the Great War of Ruin arc is substantial, but in my free-to-play opinion, this is not something that I am going to be chasing at all. The stat power-up campaign is sticking around. Like I said, this is just kind of becoming a permanent thing at the rate Adis is going, which no complaints from any of us. I'm confident in saying all these extra ways and discounted ways to get upgrade material is necessary at this point with the amount of new things Adis is releasing and throwing at us. So if this can just become a permanent standard, that would be great. And here on the other updates, there are actually some very interesting things to note here. We're going to get 30 pieces of equipment. That's quite a lot. When I read that, I was like, oh wow, 30 pieces of new equipment added to the alchemy enhancement shop. I don't know when the last update was. I know they do these limited equipment enhances every time. We've seen very often recently, but just to get 30 pieces added to the shop, I think is very substantial and very great. That's very progressive of them to do, including the Heaven's Cry staff, which DK showed off in his video is one of the best staffs for any spellcaster in the game. You got to get it from an arc though, Divine Beast Laugmechia. If you do have it though and you can upgrade it, more power to you, because it's just going to make it look even better. I've stated before, an equipment enhancement is kind of an end game player feature because of how expensive and how much resources it costs. So don't be upset if you can't upgrade these quickly and right away, especially being like my age, about 3 months in or earlier. This is something you'll get to with time and patience. This is a very Last Cloudia is a very patience requiring game. All right, it's a slow progression, but a rewarding progression as you learn and continue to enhance your account overall. The next bullet point here is very important as well. I want to show off in-game improvement to enable 100% Arc Ether arcs. So these are arcs that you've already gotten to 100% to be exchanged from the trading space. Okay, they go into more detail in this apology section. Now, from my understanding, when I'm reading this, I believe they're talking about the ability to go in the trading space. I'm going to use the DMC character February Last Cloudia Metal trading space as an example. To my understanding, what they're fixing here is if you had acquired an arc and already maxed it out to 100%, and then tried to go buy a duplicate of that arc in the shop, it would appear like this, how Nero shows. Since I pulled Nero on the banner, I cannot actually exchange it in the shop because I already obtained it. And correct me if I'm totally wrong about this. Like I said, these are my thoughts and speculations on what I'm reading, but I believe that's how it worked with arcs as well. If you pulled an arc, not sure if the 100% arc ether meter is really relevant here, but if you pulled the arc and then went back to try and exchange that arc in the shop, it wouldn't let you because you've already obtained it. So I'm hoping that's what they mean by fixing this feature in the game. So now if you do want to buy that arc in the shop after already obtaining it, you're actually going to get an arc extension which allows you to power up that arc further, which is something a lot of players might like to do if there's no new arcs there. They already have all the arcs in the shop and now they just can't purchase anything. Now you can actually pick and choose which arcs you want to upgrade further by purchasing these arc extensions for those specific arcs. And the last thing I wanted to note, the third bullet, is they're adjusting some of the pixel art for the unit Mechanical Merity. Now, I haven't seen any backlash on her sprite like we saw with the DMC units. Again, props to Adis for listening and coming through with that fix. Those nose jobs and head shrinks did wonders for the community's opinion on Adis actually listening to us players. And I guess they're going to continue the trend with Merity. We'll see what they actually change, but I'm not completely sure what that will be at the moment. We'll just have to see after it's done. And that's going to sum up the 218 maintenance notice that we just got. We're going to get that, like I said, later tonight. A lot of cool things to look forward to. I'm personally excited to be a part of this Del Morto event. What's it called again? The Blaze Boot Camp. This will be my first go around at it, so I'm excited to see that event in game and help me power up and focus on my Del Morto. Finally get him part of my roster of characters I can actually bring to difficult events. A lot of cool stuff coming. Oh man, are you excited? What do you think? Your thoughts? I always want to hear it in the comments below. Guys, that's all I got for you. Those are my thoughts on everything that's coming, and I'm interested, obviously, to see what you think. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. And like I always say, work hard, play harder. See you in the next video.